mid-size SUV is the most popular type of new vehicle in Australia, so when a new one gets released, it's a big deal. This is true, of course, of the premium segment, which is about to be shaken up by this, the second generation Lexus NX. Now, the NX doesn't actually come out until January 2022, but we've been given the chance to get up close and personal with it ahead of its official launch and our first drive. So, should the best-selling BMW X3, Mercedes-Benz GLC and Audi Q5 be worried? Well, let's find out. But before we do, I'm going to split this video into chapters with their time codes right over here, so feel free to skip ahead to anything you're particularly interested in. And if you're watching on YouTube, there are markers in the timeline below to make skipping ahead even easier, but be sure to give this video a like before you do. As always, if you want to know more, you can read our detailed NX coverage over at the CarsGuide site, so click on the link in the description below to go check it out. And if you want to stay on top of any of our upcoming videos, be sure to subscribe to the CarsGuide YouTube channel and then hit the bell icon to get notified when they're uploaded. The new NX might only be weeks away from showrooms, but we still don't know how much it will cost yet. That said, it's safe to assume it will be dearer than its predecessor, which is priced from $57,500 to about $79,000 plus on roads. Why? Well, the NX comes with a much longer list of standard equipment. But first, it's worth noting the NX is available with 3 familiar grades: the entry-level luxury, mid-range F-Sport, and flagship sports luxury. The NX250 powertrain is only available in luxury form, while the NX350 is exclusively offered in F-Sport guise. Conversely, NX350H buyers have the choice of luxury F-Sport or sports luxury versions. And yes, I will explain what those alphanumeric names mean in one of the later chapters of this video. But standard equipment in the luxury includes LED headlights and fog lights, 18-inch alloy wheels, keyless entry, and a power tailgate. Inside, push-button start, a 9.8-inch touchscreen multimedia system with always-on natural voice control, satellite navigation, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support, and digital radio feature. And there's a power-adjustable steering column, 8-way power-adjustable front seats with heating, and dual-zone climate control. Meanwhile, the F-Sport and Sports Luxury add adaptive tri-beam LED headlights, 20-inch alloy wheels, a 14-inch touchscreen multimedia system, a head-up display, wireless smartphone charging, ventilated front seats, and ambient lighting. The F-Sport also gets adaptive sport suspension, a body kit, and sports seats. And the Sports Luxury separates itself with a 17-speaker Mark Levinson sound system and a digital rear-view mirror, both of which are optional in the F-Sport. All-wheel drive variants of either grade can also option a panoramic sunroof and a heated steering wheel. Yep, the NX doesn't exactly leave buyers left wanting. Design-wise, it's obvious that the new NX is new, but it's also obvious that it's a Lexus as well. You've got signature elements like the spindle grille, albeit with a slightly different interpretation, and also these really cool-looking headlights here with that kind of boomerang style DRL. This is an example of the sports luxury grade, so you've got a different insert for the grille here, and you've also got tri-beam LED headlights as well, which look particularly swish. Otherwise, yeah, it's a very sporty look for a pretty attractive SUV. Around the side, the NX Sports Luxury that we have here is fitted with 20-inch alloy wheels and a rather unique design. The F-Sport gets a slightly different design, but needless to say, they both look pretty sporty. As we move further around though, you've got all these different body lines going on, and it's quite a clean but interesting look in terms of as you work your way up the side of the car. And that's punctuated by this roofline, which is a little bit more sloping than the previous NX's was, so it makes the car look that little bit sportier. And at the rear, the NX's new design language really comes to the fore. You've got this kind of sporty looking rear spoiler here, which leads into that, again, more tapered roofline and glass house. But then my favorite element are the new tail lights with their kind of L-shaped signature, which looks really cool, but they're also linked by this light bar in the middle. It's very, very cool, and definitely better links the NX with the UX small SUV. You've also got Lexus lettering on the back. There's no badge anymore, just lettering, centralized, spaced out, very modern, very contemporary. So that looks pretty cool as well. And then as you work your way down, you've got quite a plastic, fantastic bumper on the Sports Luxury, but at least it doesn't try and pretend like it's showing off any sort of fake exhaust pipe, so that's always very much appreciated. Design-wise, the NX looks like a Lexus from the outside, but inside it's anything but. Of course, you do have lots of high quality materials throughout, including the smooth leather of this particular sports luxury variant, so it feels like a Lexus in that regard. But ahead of the driver, everything's been reimagined. The head-up display and multifunction display and steering wheel of this particular variant work in tandem to deliver a kind of really new experience. You've got these touch-sensitive buttons on the wheel, which you control the different systems of the car, like safety and what have you. But to actually understand what the buttons do, because they're not hard-mapped, you do have to look at the head-up display to see what function or what menu that you're in. So it takes some getting used to, but once you do learn the lay of the land, it's actually pretty easy to use. But big story, of course, is the 14-inch touchscreen of this sports luxury variant. It's powered by a brand new multimedia system. Gone is the trackpad controller of previous Lexuses, thank you. It is a much better system and definitely not frustrating like the old ones were in terms of how you use them. As an example, you've got shortcut buttons on the side here, which you can easily access things. Right now we see a really large map for satellite navigation, but as you cycle through, you can see things like media and what have you. But the important thing is, while you don't have physical climate controls here, what you do have is this permanent section from the touchscreen for the climate controls. So they are always within reach. You don't have to go through different menus to try and find them. You can turn on a heated seat really easily. So that is quite a smart implementation. Now there's also always on natural voice control as well. We can't test it in this particular vehicle because it is a prototype and it's not working 100%, but safe to say when it does enter production, we'll have a working version. But yeah, it's very similar to your usual kind of voice control systems that you see these days. But yeah, if you're driving, it should make doing different things like turning up the temperature of the vehicle easy, and you won't have to be distracted potentially by the touchscreen. One other thing to note as well is you've got this digital mirror up the top here. That is an option, but you can get it instead of a traditional glass mirror. Of course, you can just simply flick it and get a different view, but that allows you to see over the heads of potentially occupants in the rear seat as well. So yeah, some really thoughtful changes that Lexus has made here. But what do you think of the design? Let us know in the comments below. Practicality-wise, the NX's boot has a cargo capacity of 520 litres, which is pretty competitive for its segment. But when you are loading bulkier items, it's made easy by this very small load lip, so you can basically just slide things in. And if you have loose items, you've got 4 tie-down points and 2 bag hooks on hand, and there's also a side storage net too. And finally, underfloor, there is some additional storage space as well, just towards the corner. There's also enough room for storing the cargo blind as well, which is nice and handy. Here in the second row, things are also pretty good. I'm sitting behind my 184 centimetre driving position, and as you can see, I've got loads of legroom and also decent headroom, even with this panoramic sunroof fitted, so it's pretty comfortable. The central tunnel also isn't particularly tall, so there's plenty of footwell space to go around, although I wouldn't want to necessarily have 3 adults in here for too long. But amenities wise, they are taken care of nicely. We've got this fold down armrest here with a couple of cup holders, which are perfect for our CarsGuide bottle. And ahead, we've got central air vents here on the back of the center console. Heated rear seats in this sports luxury variant, and then just below you've got a 12-volt power outlet and 2 USB-C ports as well. The door bins are also large enough to accommodate 1 regular bottle each as well, and you've got map pockets on the back of the seats and coat hooks up here. So yeah, people are pretty well taken care of in the second row. In the first row, things again are pretty good. You have this central storage bin, which can be opened from either side, but it's pretty large in size, which is always nice. So you can stash away plenty of stuff there. The glove box is also on the larger side, which is pretty pleasing. You can definitely fit more than just the owner's manual in it, so that's nice and handy. Moving across to the center console, right here you've got a USB-C and a USB-A port for charging different devices. Speaking of which, there is a wireless smartphone charger here, which is in an open area, which is nice, but one little party trick is it actually can move out of the way and expose a little bit more of storage area underneath where a 12-volt power outlet is hiding. So that's pretty smart. And there's also a small little cubby area up here for coins or something like that. Otherwise, moving further back, you've got a couple of cup holders, which are perfect for our CarsGuide bottle. But if you need extra bottles in the first row, the door bins are large enough to take 1 regular bottle each. So you should never get thirsty in the first row. The NX also comes with a comprehensive safety suite, with advanced driver assist systems and the luxury extending to front and rear autonomous emergency braking with intersection assist and pedestrian and daytime cyclist detection. Then there's lane keep and steering assist with emergency functionality, adaptive cruise control, road sign recognition, high beam assist, blind spot monitoring, front and rear cross traffic alert, safe exit assist and tyre pressure monitoring. The F Sport and Sports Luxury also gets surround view cameras, while their all-wheel drive variants can be optioned with park assist. Other standard safety gear includes 3 top tether and 2 Isofix child seat anchorage points and 8 airbags, including a front centre item that aims to reduce the impact of head clashes between the driver and front passenger. That said, NCAP hasn't crash tested and given a safety rating to the new NX yet, so time will tell if it matches the 5-star effort of its predecessor. As mentioned, the NX is available with 3 new powertrain options from launch: the NX250, the NX350 and the NX350H. Starting with the NX250, as its name suggests, it's powered by a 2.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol 4-cylinder engine. It's mated to an 8-speed torque converter automatic transmission and is front-wheel drive only. Outputs are a decent 152 kilowatts of power and 243 newton meters of torque. Meanwhile, the NX350 has the honour of debuting a 2.4 litre turbo petrol 4-cylinder engine for Lexus. It too is paired with an 8-speed torque converter automatic transmission, albeit exclusively with an electronically controlled full-time all-wheel drive system. The result? A very sporty sounding 205 kilowatts and 430 newton meters. Finally, the NX350H takes the NX250's engine and adds 1 or 2 electric motors for front or all-wheel drive respectively, as part of its self-charging series parallel hybrid powertrain. With an electronic continuously variable transmission or ECVT in tow, the NX350H produces an encouraging 179 kilowatts. Now, there is one other powertrain that will come to Australia later in the first quarter of 2022. That, of course, is the NX450H Plus, which builds upon the NX350H with an 18.1 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery that delivers an estimated WLTP certified electric-only driving range of 75 kilometres. Needless to say, we're particularly interested to see how that one goes. The second generation NX is clearly a big step forward over its predecessor. After all, it's absolutely loaded with standard equipment, including some cutting-edge technology. The NX also looks the part inside and out, is rather practical, and offers a wide range of powertrain options. But we still don't know its pricing, efficiency and after-sales package alongside how it drives. So stay tuned for our full review in January 2022 to see how they stack up. What do you think? Is the NX shaping up as a winner? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget, there's even more NX coverage on the CarsGuide website. Thanks for watching.